church, International Agape Ministries, on Saturday, closing out the show there. So
who
all
y'all
in Richmond,
roasting
Virginia.
at the Special Olympics fundraiser?
It's a RVA comedian. It's a Richmond comedian who.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, this is a heartless roast. Yeah. Putting the Special Olympic athletes up there and clowning them.
He's borderline special or.
But you know what's even funnier? How about I just started recording?
You big doofus.
From the top.
Yeah, so
you suck.
Hey yo, so right now, thank y'all for tuning in to what y'all just heard. We kind of botched up a recording, so thank y'all for tuning in off the pad.
I don't know what you heard or didn't hear, but welcome. Thank you for listening. I'm Jaya Toller.
And this is Corey Marshall.
Did we get who our special guest was?
Nah, but they just heard him talking. They just heard
him
the
talking.
third person talking.
Well, what y'all listening to, welcome Mr. Roy Wood Jr.
How y'all doing, man? Thank y'all for having me. This is dope. What you doing?
That's what's up.
Black men, microphones, recording. I respect it.
We respect y'all for being on the joint.
There's not a lot of black people doing this stuff, man. Y'all don't understand, man. Brothers be behind the curve on stuff. Y'all brothers ahead of it. Podcasts in the future. Yeah, and y'all recognize that, and y'all go ahead and do it. I know there's black comics out there right now still don't have Facebook pages.
You know what? I met a couple of them.
Like, I'm dead serious.
You know
like,
what?
I know.
As huge as social media is, I know black comics. A lot of them are like old school Def Jam era guys, you know, 20, 30-year vets. Straight up do not have a Twitter, don't know how to use it. And I commend the guys who are too old to realize that they don't want to, like, give you a good example, John Witherspoon. John Witherspoon ain't
bang,
tweeting.
bang, bang.
Yeah.
I love him, though.
Figure it out. But he know he need to have one.
Yeah.
He got a son.
Hire
And
camp.
he got a little grandkid. Like, he has a good Bin Laden network of people that's laying around helping him out. But, yeah, thank y'all for having me on the podcast.
You know, I actually just got a Twitter like 6 months ago.
That's fine.
And I've been doing comedy for about 6 years. And as a matter of fact, much respect to Corey Marshall for pushing me to start that Twitter.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, man, I hate it. I hate using it. I don't like it. I'll do Facebook, and that's all I got. But Twitter has definitely helped plugging into shows that I never even know would have had a show.
You got to go where the people are, man. Plain and simple. Like, the way I explain it to cats is that a fisherman ain't going to just stay in one part of the ocean and just go, the fish got to come over. Nah.
Gotta go to where
Fish move.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to move. So if you're trying to get eyeballs on what you're doing, you got to go to where they are. I don't even want to tell you about Snapchat. That's a whole other conversation.
Before we get too deep. Right.
But it'll help out. So speaking of going to where the people are, where are you going next where the people can find you?
I don't know, man. Google me.
Google him.
Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah, just RoyWoodJr.com. Roywood Jr. Yeah, that's everything. At Roywood Jr. for whatever social media, and .com if you want the official website situation. I'm in Minneapolis right after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then after that, I got a bunch of Midwest dates or whatever. So, you know, wherever I am, you know, come see me, or unless you're somebody that want to, you know.
I definitely push you out to go see him. He's been killing it at the Richmond Funny Bone this weekend. If y'all didn't see it, sorry. But it's been some dope shows.
Yeah, watch some links online.
Absolute. And Jay, where you at?
Wednesday, January 28th, I'll be at Emilio's Restaurant. It's in Richmond, Virginia. It's a fundraiser / roast for a local comedian here, but the fundraiser is for Special Olympics Division of Richmond. And Saturday, I'm also in Richmond at International Agape Ministries Worldwide. It's at a church, closing out that show. So go to my website. All the stuff's on my website, jayatoller.com.
Man, I can't do church shows, man. I tip my hat to you for that. But even if I'm not cussing on stage, I just had to accept a long time ago that my material just does not.
I disagree, dog.
I
disagree.
You've done it before, though, haven't you?
Oh, I've done them before, but here's the thing, like,
your material is perfect for it.
Maybe I don't know, because I know I do some of these church shows and I get stared at, and maybe that's from like the really judgment. It's not like I'm doing sexual material or talking about beating your kid. It's not instinctual for me to say, like, and it is not an indictment on comics that do well at churches.
Gotcha.
But the ones that I've seen do well at churches down south, Alabama, where I'm from, they're guys that have figured out a way to weave in spirituality into the material. And I don't know if I'm just not a natural at that. Like, I tried just saying praise God as a segue between jokes. That didn't work. Yeah, so anyway, praise
Waka,
God.
waka, waka.
Man, you ever snuck some food into the movies? Praise God.
I got it here.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
What word up?
it's there's just certain shows that I know if I take this date, I'm just taking your money because in my head, I'm gonna be in my head the whole time I'm there. Like I can't do that. I can't do outdoor comedy no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like.
That'll weigh on you.
People don't even realize how amazing it was what Dave Chappelle did with that block party
Okay.
after his Comedy Central show ended.
Yeah, no doubt.
He had music and comedy outdoors during the day. Like that is
Yeah.
literally
In Brooklyn, wasn't it?
that. Yeah,
In
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
this is literally the worst possible atmosphere for comedy. And
Yeah.
he did it. Just went out, nailed it. No problem.
That's a special breed right there, though.
What you got? What you got coming up, Corey?
Oh, well, the 29th, the 29th through the 31st, I'll be at the Chicago Improv, in Chicago. We were working with Rodman.
I'm about to say you working with Rodman, right?
working with Rodman. So those are our dates, and man, we already started. It's just, ready to get off the bag.
That's right. I don't like we said that.
Ready to get off the bag.
I'm ready to get off the bag.
Is you a big boy now? Is you a big grown man now?
You
Ready to
don't
get
talk
off
to
the
me like
bag? On to the party.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get this party started then.
Greetings again. Welcome to Season 2 of Off the Pad Podcast. The podcast serving you non-stop funny without interruption. Now sit back, relax, clock out, and get ready for the best moments of your day.
Yo, this comedian Rodman, and you rolling, you listening, you in the zone with my man, Jaye Tola and Corey Marsha. Off the Pad, baddest podcast on this side of the universe. You heard it from me, Rodman. I'm out.
Now without further ado, I present to you two of the funniest, flyest, freshest soul brothers around. Jaye Tola and Corey Marshall.
Anyway, we're gonna kick off the interview portion of this joint, and I asked Roy a few questions. Just so y'all know, listeners, we are keeping it off the pad flavor. Roy has not seen or heard either one of these questions yet. We're asking him, and he's giving answers right immediately
I don't
afterwards.
understand people who be wanting questions. I mean, I worked in radio a long time, and we used to deal with that on, like, we had this request form
It's a
for the
she.
questions. And then,
Stuff that you can't ask.
yeah, it was stuff you can't ask.
Okay.
And so then I was a smart mouth, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to send back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask, well, what about these questions? And it's just questions about what do you eat. It's questions that no way in hell I was going to ask.
Uh-huh.
Do you fart?
Mhm.
If so, how often? Like,
Yeah.
just ignorant stuff.
What?
The publicist calls the station. Yeah, she's not going to be able to do the interview.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Well,
You didn't
Well,
want it.
now that makes me curious. Now I want to know how often you fart. When you tell me,
Exactly.
you tell me I can't answer this question.
Exactly.
It's like,
And I
so-
was never going to ask
Does she have a
that.
gas problem?
right,
Like,
you fart this much. So this has to be from your publicist that you can't ask this question as an interviewer.
Yeah, and who asked it before? Who messed it up for
Yeah.
everybody? It's like me. I'm that guy. Because I'm sure the fart question is on the new email she sends out.
And don't ask anything about farts. But we
So-
do got a question for you, but it's not about farts.
Okay.
So first question, Roy, how often do you poop? No, I'm joking.
And do you flush right after?
Well, you know, I let it pile
Do
up.
you
I believe
wash
in
it?
conservation.
I like to see my work.
Now we get a little serious before we start with the jokes. If you can say, what has been the most important or significant opportunity in your comedy career?
I'd say Letterman. Because see, it's hard to say because I can say David Letterman and doing Letterman, but then was it really Letterman or was it me booking the Montreal Comedy Festival, which led to me getting Letterman? You know, which
I
one?
follow what
You
you're
understand?
saying.
Like, Letterman probably did Letterman and Def Jam, which I did within a year of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things solidified my comedy resume on the white side and the black side. Like those two
Word.
things definitely. But financially, as far as what got me work on the road, is the Bob and Tom radio show. You know,
Shout out.
Tom.
you know, black folks may not know a lot about them because, you know, they on the dial with a lot of music we don't listen to, but they're just as big as Tom Joyner, just as
Yeah.
big as Steve Harvey, reaching just as many homes. And unlike Steve Harvey and Tom Joyner, they pretty much have comedians on every day. Literally every single day, they get comics on. And when you go to the markets where Bob and Tom is on the air, you sell tickets. I did Bob and Tom the first time in 2004.
Okay.
By the time I got off the air at 10 a.m., I had 3 emails from comedy bookers I've been pursuing for the past year and a half.
That's what's up.
Wow.
By the time I got
That's
off the
dope.
air.
Right. So so this is within minutes.
Literally,
You
at
talking
7
about
in the
3 days
morning, I'm
later.
on the air with them. By 10:30 in the morning, I'm booked in 3 new cities that I've never worked before. That's the power of Bob and Tom. And that put money in my pocket. And money in your pocket is opportunity to go out and do more and get better. Because, I was a Southern comic. Stage time is 4 hours. From wherever you performed last week, your next gig is a minimum of 3 to 4 hours away.
Jeez.
So
In what state?
Alabama.
Alabama.
I
Birmingham.
started in Tallahassee and kind of in Birmingham. I was still in school at Florida A&M, so I split time. And once I booked Bob and Tom, that pretty much opened up the whole Midwest, Big 10, Big 12 country, just all of that region, man. And that was huge because as a black comic, white rooms aren't quick to book you. And they aren't sure if you're going to be too ghetto and do your black thing on stage. And I always looked at myself as just a mainstream, regular-ass comic, but they see the headshot and instantly think, well, is he too black for our room? Oh, wait, he was on Bob and Tom this morning. Sure, come on in.
Gotcha.
And that credit put money in my pocket, and it gave me opportunity on the road for like the next 4 or 5 years. And a lot of those rooms I still work to this day, and that's because of Bob and Tom. So, when I look at career opportunities, when I was starting to hit a wall, and certain rooms wouldn't promote me from feature act to headliner, and other rooms wouldn't return my emails at all. Hell, back in those days, it was faxes and everything.
Facsimile.
That probably, professionally, as far as what got me from point B to point C in my career, is definitely Bob and Tom, because I wouldn't have got good enough and better enough to even do Letterman or do Def Jam. It was some 3 years on the road because I wasn't in L.A. I wasn't in New York.
So how many years, after you started, was Bob and Tom?
6 or 7 years. I started in 98. I think I touched Bob and Tom in 04.
So your 6th year, you hit Bob and Tom, and things started
and
taking off.
I was featuring most places and headlining if somebody
The off
canceled.
nights or
Hey, the headline overdose on cocaine. Can you cover it?
And that's real. I know it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You be on the way to the club. Yeah, we can't reach Chuck. He's probably on a, he's on a, a lean or somewhere.
Chuck is not a real name, comedians.
Yeah.
I don't think we're talking about you.
Oh, that's
But if
just
you
the
are listening,
norm.
Chuck, you need to stop.
Yeah, you need to get it
You
together.
need to slow
Chuck.
down, Chuck.
Yeah, that'd be the norm. You get a call. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to headline tonight
Yeah.
because we
Those
can't
do happen.
reach Johnny. The police and took him into custody last night. He punched somebody.
Absolutely.
So once I started doing Bob and Tom, and that was actually, man, I don't want to call it fate, luck, or whatever, but I wasn't even supposed to do him that morning. There was another comedian that I was featuring for, this lady Diane Ford. We were in Indianapolis, which is where the studios are located. And Diane Ford got sick the night before.
Okay.
Club owner calls me and goes, yo, we got to have somebody from the club to promote the shows. Would you mind going on Bob and Tom? You mean, would I mind going on the air with 5 million people?
Yeah.
5 million listeners nationwide?
Why you asking
Yes,
me
I
questions?
would.
What time, where, when?
Thank you, ma'am.
Man, and it's not a lot of things that I've done career-wise that I'll brag about or say that I did well, but that morning on radio, Bob and Tom, it's perfect.
How long was that interview? You remember?
I was on the
He said
air.
7 to
It
10:30.
was supposed to be one break.
Mm.
It was supposed to be one break, and it ended up being 3 hours.
Wow, that's what's up.
And that's and it was the same way. Because when I started in radio, it was in 2001 when I moved back home to Birmingham. So, I was co-hosting the morning show back home after Ricky Smiley left to go and do bigger and better things. And so I knew the format, and I knew how to talk radio. I knew how to formulate the answer so that it fits into a quick, concise 30 to 45-second reply, and there's laughs in there. So it really, I was at home, man. You know, we need you to be quick and don't curse and all of that stuff. I was like, no problem. And went in and crushed. Like that's
Word.
that's probably one of the handful of times in my career where I will sit and acknowledge
That's what's up.
I did well.
What do you need to do to become a star?
Yo,
I'm sorry, listeners. That's an inside question, an inside joke. That was just for us.
these little young comics be asking me that, man. I be like, I ain't even no star.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna tell you first?
Exactly.
First.
As a matter, does it make you feel some type of way? You see somebody that started off like 3 years ago, and they're like 10 times as known or getting more shows?
Nah, it don't bother me. That ain't never bothered me. Now, I know comics. I swap texts. I'll show you texts on my phone right now from comedians hating on comics that were on Comedy Central Friday night.
Okay.
Like, that's GP with most comics. Is how did he get it before I got it? I ain't worried about that, man. I run my race.
Absolutely.
I make money. I do what I do, and there will be a place for what I do. Seinfeld didn't eat till year 20. I'm year 15, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
And
I respect that.
these young cats who get it too fast, they lose it fast too. You know, and if they don't know how to hold on to it, they can give you all the shows and all the opportunities, and you'll make some money, and you'll go out and do these colleges. I know guys with 30 minutes of material who getting $20,000 to show up at a college and tell jokes for an hour.
Jeez.
And they do 30 minutes of material, and they do 30 minutes of crowd work, and it's mediocre. But the crowd loves it.
Yeah.
But as an artist,
Right.
you know
Yeah,
they
I can't.
lying.
I don't like that. Right.
You know
I
they're a
can't do
fraud,
that.
Yeah.
and they know they're a fraud. And sooner or later, when you get out in these trenches,
catch up to
you
'em.
get out in middle America,
Yeah.
and you got to tell these jokes for real to some grown folks, it's going to catch up to you, and you're going to stop getting booked, and eventually you're going to fade to black. So do the work, learn the craft. I'm perfectly content, man. And, you know, when I see cats on, my only prayer is that they don't screw it up, because I'm still trying to get in the door on some of these things, you know? Like, I look at I give you a great example. A guy like Gerard Carmichael.
Ha!
Gerard Carmichael just did an HBO special.
Yes, he did.
That was his
Hour long too.
his first television appearance. And you know what? The dude didn't have movies. The dude is on his second sitcom deal in 2 years. He's been doing comedy half as long as me. I can't be mad at him, because what I need him to do, no matter what I feel about him, no matter what anybody feels about him,
Okay.
I need him to hit a home run. I need him to go in and do well so that the next cat gets an opportunity to do well. Kevin Hart. Everybody can say whatever they want to say about Kevin Hart, but
Right.
Kevin Hart's opening doors. I think he's funny. He makes me laugh. Some comics want to act like, well, he don't talk about nothing. What you want him to be, Chris Rock? Everybody can't be Chris Rock. Everybody can't be Paul Mooney. What you want him to get up there and go, white people can't stand them. No.
Right.
Kevin Hart got a very specific plan. I watched an interview with him with the Breakfast Club. Oh, my God. This dude got like a 4 or 5 year business strategy.
What's up?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to do in July. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I look at anybody that's getting the world. Of course, would I love to be on my second sitcom deal with an HBO special directed by Spike Lee? Hell yeah, but that's not my path. Plus, wasting time obsessing on what some other comic got, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If anything, what I'm going to do is figure out, all right, what did he do that I didn't do?
Right.
Because it can't all be about material.
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy if you think it's that. It couldn't possibly be all about material. Just so you know, I don't even remember what your question was no more. I don't even know the answer. But I look at the young cats and the cats who are coming after me who are getting more with less time, and just respecting the fact that there's more venues, that there's more channels, there's more outlets. So, of course, there's going to be more opportunity. Chris Rock said in an interview a long time ago, the average time to get on TV now for a comic is 3 years. And that's about right. I think it's gone up. I'd say it's back up to 4 or 5 years now. But when Chris was coming up, the average time was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So when comics got to television, they were way more seasoned than what comics are now. But
Probably for black comics.
yeah, yeah. But you know, you look at a lot of the guys. I mean, you got these YouTube cats.
No doubt.
They get cast and stuff because they got 1 million friends or they got 1 million likes or follows or whatever.
It's about that exposure, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the studio ain't stupid. We need to promote this.
Yeah.
So let's cast somebody that's already got a following so that we already have a built-in network of people to help promote the show.
It's business.
Funny or not.
It's business.
It don't matter. Like, funny is so far down the line of what's required to, quote, make it or become a star or whatever. So, you know, I know where I lack. I'll tell you where I lack. I know one of my biggest flaws as a comic is that I lack relationships. I lack that regular go out and hang. Like, you go to L.A., all the comics hang and chill and their friends and their buddies. That's why you see an Adam Sandler movie, you see 8 of his friends.
Yeah.
You see a Seth Rogen movie, it's 9 of his friends. You see Craig Robinson pop up and stuff. And it's funny is one thing, but relationships is a whole nother beast. And I'm a loner. I grew up an only child. 9 years on the road by myself. I didn't have no comedy clique coming up, so I didn't have a bunch of boys that I came up with together in the trenches, and this is my squad.
Yeah.
Like, everybody that rode with Kevin Hart, they've been down with him since he was broke. I don't have that team. I don't have that. So I don't have relationships. So I know that that's where I miss a lot of opportunities is because I ain't hanging out. I ain't chilling.
I'll get on the road with you, Roy.
You can start a relationship
Shameless
now.
plug.
If you're really a prince, I'll marry you.
Giving them earrings.
But okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not mad at nobody that's getting it. In fact, anyone that's popping, you got to look at that and you got to analyze it, you know, right down to the metrics of the types of jokes that they do, where they started, how did they pollinate their product, where did they put it out, you know, from the genesis of their ideas and their approach to salesmanship and promotion, because that's a big part of it.
I think that's like the beauty of comics. Like, no career is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody did something either different or, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of see the different branches of what they took. It was, okay, well, let me see what he did. Okay, I'm
how does
right
that apply
around
to
here.
me?
I'm right over here, so I could probably do this and kind of do that. You see?
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
like, you know, yeah, I love it. There's no straightforward way to
it's
make
like you stupid to get mad. You got to be stupid to be mad at somebody else. It ain't their fault. That's just the game. Jazz musician can't be mad because some rapper. It ain't the same.
Yeah, I got you.
It's music, yeah, but no two musicians, no two comics are the same.
Yeah, no two jazz musicians are the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got to think about a girl named Jasmine. Ain't got nothing to do with what y'all talking about. But when you say Jasmine, it just...
She must have a big booty. The way you just close your eyes.
Hold
and
on.
went into Happy Land.
I have a girlfriend.
Wipe your lips. Wipe your lips. Wipe your lips. You drooling.
I have a girlfriend. Stop that. And my girlfriend's name is Michelle. But
We got Jasmine on the show.
She ain't listen to this podcast. Keep talking about Jasmine Booty.
My girl better listen to or my new girlfriend will be named Jasmine.
We'll keep that in the podcast, just so you know.
She knows what's up. Still willing to do open mics? It's not as serious as the first two questions.
Am I still willing to do open mics?
Or do you still do them?
Yeah, I still do open mics. I'll go up anywhere with a microphone. I try not to do I try to only do open mics if I have new material I'm working on.
Okay.
So only the new material?
But
only
hole in the wall place open mics or like open mics that are at featured venues?
Featured venue, wherever. I don't care.
Okay.
Like I've gone New York. When I go to New York, and you know, there's certain clubs that you play in New York where you do your polished material, especially if you're out of towner, because you know you on foreign turf. You need to show respect. You need to rip the stage. Make sure you still have the respect of the club and on. But you playing some hole in the wall uptown in a coffee shop, I'm gonna do all new material because I gotta find a place where I can fail and grow. Because you have to continually do new material. That's how you get better every year. So if I'm doing an hour on a weekend set at a regular comedy club in Middle America, out of a 45-minute set, I probably got a 5-minute space where I can do new material and it not affect the totality of my performance.
I got you.
I follow.
These people paid $20. They got dressed. They drove out, parking, food, drinks. They deserve a real
Doing
show.
the polish.
Yeah, so they deserve polish. But if I'm going to get better, I got to do unpolished. So you do unpolished material in unpolished places. So for me, I ain't got no ego about, well, I don't want nobody to see me fit.
Right, okay.
You know,
I
I don't care. And, you know, and I've seen it's more of a New York comic mentality where you can see the best comics go up and they suck. And it doesn't matter if that 5 minutes makes it out on the internet and somebody go, oh, he's horrible. But, you know, I'm also not at that point. You know, there's guys that still do some version of that. You know, I hate to keep using Kevin Hart as an example, but he's a good example of it. You know,
we're going to name this podcast Kevin Hart.
Bill Burr. Bill Burr, too, though, where these guys normally play theaters and arenas. So for them, their version of open mic is to play the comedy club.
Yeah.
So
I follow,
somebody who's normally a $70 ticket, you can see them for $20. Well, you ain't getting the $70 jokes.
Yeah.
You get
the $20 jokes. And I get to grow. You get to say you saw me. It was only $20. And it ain't no big deal, no harm, no foul. So that's always my approach. Like, I'll go up anytime, any place. But for me, out of respect to the other comics on the open mic, it's got to be new material. Because if I'm an established comic and I'm working and I get up on your show and I do material that I already know work, I just wasted 5 minutes of the show. And that's disrespectful to all the other comics that drove and been like, man, I remember, man, I used to wait. I used to perform once a month and wait. Couldn't be thinking about that show for weeks. Polished all the jokes, had them ready, and then you show up and some vet show up and do 30, 45 minutes and you get bumped.
Hate it.
Just because he had ego. That stuff happened in L.A. all the time, man. You know,
Chuck,
I feel
we're talking
sorry
about
for these
you.
L.A. comics, you know, but, you know, in L.A. it's considered part of the hazing, and you know, so-and-so showed up tonight and did 2 hours, you know, on an open mic.
It's part of the culture.
If you want to pull rank and do all this extra time, do it on a regular show with other vets, but you won't do that because you know they'll choke your ass up against that wall, and they'll call you out on it. So you push over people who can't say anything, and that just that's not a legacy I'm interested in establishing for myself.
Word up. All right. We'll move on. What kind of jobs did you have before comedy? And if you weren't doing comedy, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing comedy, I'd be in journalism. My degree is in journalism. So I wanted to do like sports journalism, kind of like Stuart Scott, kind of like Kenny Mayne. Like I wanted to be like the funny, weird sports story kind of dude.
R.I.P. Stuart Scott.
Yeah, that dude's straight legend, man. I think I'd be in journalism. Before comedy, dude, I did it all, man. Like, you know, I worked Baskin Robbins. I used to
How many flavors?
scoop that ice cream, man, in Western Hills Mall in Birmingham. I worked at Subway for a couple years. I worked at Shoney's.
All the food
God,
places.
all the
like.
restaurants in Birmingham.
Well, you know why? Like, and then through college, I worked at Golden Corral. I worked at food places
You
because
didn't
I
get your
figured out I figured out real fast that it was an extra. It was a free meal.
Yeah.
And coming up, you know, the way we was living on the West Side, we weren't broke, but my mama wasn't frowning if I came home with a free foot long.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, baby. We ain't got to cook. This will last us. So I come home with 3-4 sandwiches, man, and we eat on that for a good 2-3 days. So for me, I stayed in food service exclusively. I tried a telemarketing job in high school for 2 months. I damn near starved to death. I was like, this got to stop.
You need to do telemarketing for a food company. Like this is McDonald's.
Yeah, I was like, yo,
would
man,
you
I'm
like
hungry. Y'all ain't got nothing to nibble on in this?
Well, come on, mama, make a phone call right quick. Come
Yeah.
on, mama. Yeah.
So I stayed in food service. And then when I graduated from college, I was still kind of working at Golden Corral while I was on the road. But you know how the road is. The road is so sporadic that, you know, eventually you get called out on the morning that you're working a double and you get fired. And, you know, so that was the last of my Golden Corral days. I still got the apron.
So what would you do now? Like if you wasn't doing, you still be working in one of the food spots or something? Or?
I try to do radio.
That would be Cheesecake Factory. They got better food.
Too many rules at Cheesecake, though. You can tell Cheesecake Factory one of them places where you got to clock out to eat and you got 8. There was too many snitches.
Too many snitches at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, it's somebody trying to move up. You got somebody who a crew leader who think they general manager. Golden Corral, it was a nice
Waffle House.
It's a tight crew with more than 6 waiters on the floor. Got 2 buffet attendants, 2 cooks in the back, and 3 people on front line making drinks. It's a small crew. You can sneak off and do some stuff if you want.
Stay on the clock.
Yeah. Hey, man, cover my section real quick. I'm going to go just eat this roast beef real quick. You know.
What'd you say, radio? So would you be in the front or like behind the scenes? You
I was on air, man. I was on air. You know, I still do a little bit of stuff now in Atlanta with the KISS station in Atlanta. I do it on
pranks,
prank phone calls and just regular on-air co-hosting.
Okay, cool.
You know, just day-to-day. I do it on the satellite box for the most part now because of my travel. But radio, I've always loved. You know, it was fun to do. It just, the situation in Birmingham got contentious when I booked the sitcom on TBS.
Sullivan Son?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2010, I was hosting my own morning show in Birmingham. I eventually worked my way up to host. So the first year first year is cool. Second year I booked the sitcom. I go to my boss. I go, yo, I booked the sitcom. What do you say you let me work on the satellite box from L.A.? And they go, all right, cool. So I go to L.A. and I wake up at 4 in the morning.
Wow. Sounds early.
I do the morning show till 8 a.m. I'm on set at 9, rehearsal till 3, get home, eat some food real quick, catch a nap, get back out in the streets to get on stage, to do my jokes, back in the bed by midnight, back up at 4.
That's that grind.
Wash, rinse, repeat. So I do that for about 7-8 months. Then the ratings start coming in. And radio ratings, ain't no real way to calculate that stuff. At least not at that time. It would take me an hour to explain to you how radio ratings are calculated. Just know it's garbage.
Okay.
It's a horrible sample size of people. They sample like 1,000 people in any market to represent the
30
radio.
million or whoever.
Yeah, to represent 1 million people in the Birmingham listening market. You poll less than 1%. And you telling me these the people that represent whatever. So ratings go down. They blame it on my move to L.A. and they canceled the show. And so if I could do something again, it would be radio. And I've always had ideas of how to make it a little more lively and more interactive and stuff like that. But that would probably be the only thing that I would do if I wasn't doing stand-up. In fact, if I eventually back out of stand-up or quit stand-up or, the DNA of my career changes, that'd be the first place I go back to. Okay. But radio is very unstable, man.
What made you want to do the prank calls?
I didn't want to do no damn prank calls.
But you got famous, or
I know, but that was by accident.
Right, so you didn't have a plan. Yo, I'm gonna make this prank call thing big.
Could have cared less.
Word.
Straight up, could have cared less. I got stuck doing pranks as the only way that I could get hired as an intern at the station. Ricky Smiley, who came before me in Birmingham. Ricky Smiley's the king of Birmingham comedy. Like, that's just
understood.
He's that dude.
Yeah.
So when he left, he was the prank call dude. He did pranks and he murdered pranks. So when he left, it left a creative void on the show.
Okay.
So I go to the boss. I go, yo, I can't do what Ricky did. I want to do weird songs and commercials. I had comedy ideas.
I want to do parodies.
Yeah, I want to do parodies.
I want to do
fake
puppets
commercials
on the radio.
Yeah, but that because I was like, what can I do that's different so that they don't say I'm being Ricky?
Understood.
And he goes, that's fine, but you got to do pranks too, because that's what people are using. And he was right, because with radio, it's about repetitive listening, and people are used to a certain thing. You got to give them that thing over and over again. So if Ricky gone, we need pranks. So for as long as you deliver a prank, you can do whatever the hell else you want to do. So I go, cool. So I started doing the pranks, and I know I got to do them good because I'm following Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of time and thought. I tried to write out what I would say to people before I call them. Like, you can kind of guess the tone. If I know the tone of the conversation is going to be an argument versus is it going to be me yelling at you or you yelling at me? Those are two totally different conversations. And I could set up how I stack the insults. So I would have two sheets of insults that I would write every morning. I call you, get you going, and then I just go down the sheet.
Gotcha.
And one of them going to piss you off. The prank, people loved them. So I started putting them online so that this is for the local listeners. If you missed the prank, if you missed this morning's prank, go to my website. I try to put them on 95. I try to put them on the station website. The dude that run the station website, man, we ain't putting all that stuff on our website. Stressing the server. You don't know. That's stupid. I go, all right, I'll put them on my website. Because if people missed a prank, I'm tired of people coming up to me in the street saying they missed a prank. What was today? Well, you know what? Go to my website. Download the prank. Next year.
It worked out then.
Yeah.
Next year, YouTube comes out. And somebody took my pranks off my website and put them on YouTube. And within a month, my website went from 500 hits a month to 50,000 a day.
Jeez.
And that was the beginning of
it.
Sorry.
We got to think about YouTube. It's just like, yo, don't bring up YouTube for me.
Like, that literally is how it happened. You know,
but he did say it's the next day YouTube came out. Though. That's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, this is 2004.
Yeah.
YouTube
Whatever.
first started.
Any advice to upcoming comics?
Can you stop your stuttering?
No, that's part of the show. Stuttering is
Can
people
you
listen to the show to see how many times I'm gonna stutter.
Can you ask that question again without the stutter, sir?
I could probably stutter some more by asking it.
You got any advice for upcoming comics? That's the
Mr.
question.
Woodring.
What could you tell?
New comics, get it out of your head about being on TV.
Just don't have it in there at all.
Get it out of your head.
Just get it out of your head. And, you know, it's wrong of me to tell comics after being on TV and having the same desire to be on TV that, oh, you got to be on TV and then everything will happen. Here to tell you, man, that's an old recipe. That was the lie that I was sold. And at the time, it made sense in 98. You get on TV and then boom, boom, boom happens for you. But, you know, I feel like I got to college and then they changed the graduation requirements because I got Letterman, and all Letterman did for me was get me booked in one or two cities that I never worked before. And it got my money up just a little in rooms that I was already working. But the opening up of this world of opportunity in Hollywood, for me, didn't quite happen the way it would have for guys who did Letterman 10 years prior. I'm not going to say it didn't do anything, but it definitely, a 2006 Letterman credit definitely ain't a 1996
no doubt.
Letterman credit.
Okay, right. That makes
Two
sense.
totally different realms. Stop obsessing over TV like that's what's going to get you over the hump. It's not. You can go do TV, fine. You see an audition for something or some show or some showcase, fine. Go get on it. Be on it. But you should pursue that with the same level of give a damn as you do the ugly girl in the club. Like, because that's what TV is.
So get TV drunk.
I'm about to say the same thing. I was like, get her a
Like,
drink.
straight up, that's what TV is. TV is the kind of ugly chick that you kind of holler at, but it ain't no big deal if she don't want to get at you, because she ain't gonna make it or not. She ain't gonna make or break your career right now. My advice to young comics is to create content themselves, period. You can be funny on stage, but if you have sketch ideas, you have things that are funny that you want to produce, go produce it yourself. Set up a YouTube channel, set up a social media network and a way to distribute that stuff. And you would be surprised how much stuff comes to you from being a self-starter. Ain't no agent out there looking to make no star. They're looking for people that's already established. You already be established. I give you a perfect example. These boys, this guy, Kevin Hart. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm playing. It's these boys on the internet called Dormtainment. It's 6 black guys. I think they're all from Atlanta. If not, I know that's kind of where they were based. But Dormtainment is a sketch group. It's a black sketch group. And all they did was just make content online every week. Consistent, funny, well-produced content. They have an agent now. They're in L.A. They get auditions. They get opportunities now to do more. They get opportunities to pitch shows because of what they did, because they created a following. And the first thing comics want to do, I ain't got no money, and I can't, you ain't got no good camera.
Yeah.
You're lazy.
Absolutely.
You're lazy and you're uncreative, and you're not sitting down and legitimately assessing what your options are. If you have as little as $500, you can get a camera and a microphone from Best Buy. You can shoot whatever it is you wanted to shoot.
Tax return season? When you get your taxes
You don't even need that.
Go ahead.
You could get a credit. If you got enough of a credit score, open up a garbage-ass $1,000 credit card with some horrible APR and make that your business card. I'm serious. You go to Best Buy, you buy everything you need to shoot whatever sketch you need to shoot. You go shoot the sketch, and you got 13 days to take that back to the store for a full refund. Open box.
That's smart.
Yo, I tell cats in a heartbeat,
That's smart.
that's what I would do if I was starting today. That is the first thing I would do, because that's the one hurdle I had as a comic. My first 3 years, I couldn't afford a camera.
He gave you the precise limit. He said you got 13 days.
It's a 14-day no restocking fee return policy. So you have 13 days to shoot. If you can't shoot, you should be able to shoot some YouTube 3-minute sketch. You should be able to bang that out in 2 days, bruh. One day, if you only got one location, the only thing you might have to pay money for is the lights. If you're renting some real lights from a Photoshop or something like that, but that's $100 hit. That's not a big deal. If anything, you can get a bunch of lamps from Target, and you can take the shades off the lamps. Yo, I've done all of that stuff to make shoots work.
No, that's creative.
So that's how you make stuff look professional, because that's the first thing you got to do is make it look professional. It's got to be funny, but above all, it's got to be consistent. If it's not consistent, it does not matter how it looks. I did a web series 2 years ago called New Faces of Black History, and it was just oddball Black history facts. Completely fumbled the ball because I produced it too late in the year, and I wanted to put one out every day the month of February, and I got to like February 8th, and my editing couldn't keep up with the distribution schedule.
Wow.
So it was February 8th, then the 12th, then the 15th, then the 19th. Lost the traction. But if I had done it every day, I'd have had them.
Yeah.
So, you know, that would be my advice to new comics, is to figure out ways to do stuff yourself. Going to L.A. and waiting for Comedy Jesus to see you in the back of the room and hand you a career, those days are gone. And nobody wants to accept that, because you look up to all of these comics who came up with different graduation requirements.
Understood.
So you can't follow their path. It just don't work.
By the way, this is Jaya Tola representing Off the Pad. I just want to say that that was Roy Wood Jr. who talked about that Best Buy scam. On behalf of
it's not a scam. It's policy.
On behalf of trying to get Best Buy
and when you burn through all the Best Buys, you move on to Target. And when you burn through all the Targets, you move on to Walmart. And when you burn through all of them, you move on to Amazon. Amazon doesn't charge a restocking fee. But now with Amazon, you're losing a couple days because of shipping. So you got to be a little faster with your shooting, because you got to ship the stuff back and wait for the money to be credited back to your card. But that's free equipment, man. I wish I had free equipment. I was renting a VHS camera, the shoulder mount joint.
Yeah.
The shoulder joint from Rent-A-Center for $60 a day.
Wow.
Just to record my $60 a day
VHS.
to go record me, make $25. And that was like, I wish Those two of the most important purchases I ever made, man, was a laptop, and my first camera was this JVC VHS-C little handheld joint I got from Circuit City.
Yep.
Man, that was my baby. Because I was like, I finally got my own camera, and I can shoot my videos without having to. Man, Rent-A-Center used to make you pay this under 25 rental fee to the point where I had to start dating a chick that was 27. So she could go to Rent-A-Center for me. Go to Rent-A-Center for your boy. So I had to pay this extra $40.
That's funny.
Yeah, using your resources.
Yeah, use your resources.
Use your resources.
Man. That's and network with other people that are just as driven as you.
Round 2. Discussion topics.
Nice to hold it.
So the next,
quarter.
all right. So this topic is women's conformity to society's big booty obsession.
Where is that a question though, or is that just a statement?
Movement.
Or how do we feel about women's
It was
conformity?
given as
Maybe
a
that's-
topic. I don't know what the person.
I don't think we're qualified to ask that. I think that's a question for a woman.
Right. Yeah. It's why do you
Like
conform?
a dude shouldn't be. I tell you what, women in their bodies.
They
should
need to
be-
stop changing.
I mean, plus we all like booty, so why would we argue against? I don't like it. I'll say that.
You don't like big booties?
I like big booties, but I like natural big booties. I'm not a big fan of anything fake. To me,
I agree.
too much of it.
I agree.
And this is just for me, and I'm not gonna say this about all women or whatever, but for me and my judging of choosing a mate, my fear is that you have, if there's too much fake stuff going on, I think you got a level of self-hatred and a lack of happiness about yourself that you, number one, you can't make me happy. Number two, you think you can buy beauty and happiness and don't realize that it comes from within. Number three, I'm not gonna raise a kid with you and have you pumping this kid's head full of the ideology that weave and wigs and eyelashes and fake booties and like all of this stuff makes the woman. No, I would rather just cool ass natural chick, not a lot of makeup. That's usually my flow. And if you want to get a booty implant, that's fine. But the stuff is driving women to chicks dying. Literally are dying to get big booties. That's crazy. There's a lady on trial in Georgia right now for giving fake, for giving bootleg booty implants.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying those women deserve to die, but there's something's got to be wrong with you to want something so bad you're willing to get it on a hookup in a hotel
on the street.
room.
Yeah.
How desperate? What are you after? What are you chasing? What is it that you think this booty is going to get you that the body you already have can't get you?
So question.
Until you can answer that question for me,
So
I'm gonna squeeze that booty. But
I'm
I'ma
gonna
enjoy
love
it.
it
I'ma
till it
enjoy
falls
it.
off.
we can't go on no date
Yeah.
because you got some unresolved issues.
Can't go on a
man.
roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way with boobs, like all of that stuff, man. Keep it homegrown.
So I don't know where society's obsession come from, but it ain't coming from the guys. Because I haven't met a guy yet that says, hey, flat booty girl, go and get injected with any of
Well, I
this.
mean, they keep showing it. I mean, they keep playing into what they think people want to see, and that's all that
Yeah,
they show.
matter of
I
fact,
mean,
Yeah,
Women, it's
most
your
of these
fault.
Women that's getting booty implants, it's not like they was super flat to begin with.
not only that, but that's all. Like the way a lady takes a picture now, she starts from the back and then twists
Yeah.
her body to the front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what they
Yeah.
show. I mean, so just like this is what they want to see. This is me. This is me. This is my
But
picture.
they're
This is
marketing
me.
that to women from women are marketed to based on their insecurities.
Okay.
Men are marketed to based on this will help you get a woman. The
Absolutely.
car or the Axe body spray.
This
or
will
Quote-
this
quote
will
of
help
the
you-
day.
This will
Quote
help
of the
you-
day.
This
I
will
like
help you
that.
get an insecure woman.
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You want a woman? Well, drive this. Wear this. Smell like this. Where women, it's
Do you want a
your
man?
butt's too flat. You're not gonna. Your eyebrows aren't perfect. Do you want perfect lashes? CoverGirl.
Because we're trying to cover the
Yeah.
girl that's there because you ain't doing it.
You ugly face mutt bucket. Listen.
Ugly duckling is for you. It's just-
On behalf of Jaye Toller and Off the Pad Podcast, that was Roy Wood talking about the CoverGirl. Like, I don't know how to work on these sponsorships.
L'Oreal.
Like, whatever you.
If L'Oreal or CoverGirl ever sponsor this podcast, I would double whatever. I'm not saying you'll get sponsors, but I'm pretty sure that your target demo sponsorship.
And you know what?
I'll
That's
hold
what
no
we're gonna
limits
go
for myself.
That's
I'll
what we're
hold,
gonna
I'll
go
hold
for
no
now.
limits
We're
for
gonna
this.
go for it. And when we get it, we're gonna have you back on this podcast. Hey, Roy,
you can be able to
you're gonna have to wear these eyelashes for this.
Yeah, you can be able to say
That check,
nothing.
please.
We're
You're
gonna
gonna have to wear
That shit.
these eyelashes for this show. It's just-
I don't know what society. Where did the fake breast obsession come from? Where did the collagen in the lips come from? Where did tattoos and piercings
Women is all your
come
fault.
from?
We love big booties.
Yeah, this is
but
totally
it should be
a
female
female question.
It should be natural. If you can do exercise to make your booty bigger and better, then do the exercise.
Where these
Eat a
stupid
certain
squats?
food.
Where these
Do
pole
squats, yeah.
dancing classes come from?
Hey, I like the pole dancing class.
pole dancing. I don't
Pole
really.
dancing is pretty exciting.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like,
It's
but
not
then
for us
I'm
to
also
get.
a dude that.
You like strippers? You a strip club?
It's all right. But
Well,
it's
hold on.
not-
I'm not saying I like it as far as, but if my girl could do something on the pole, I'm all for it. It's interesting to watch. It's something different.
See, I
No,
don't.
but
I
if
don't
your
need
girl
all
on
that
the pole,
exhibition.
I look at her.
No, but you won't see her on the pole. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like
That'll
when
be.
dudes, like I got a homeboy that has a stripper pole in his bedroom, and I'm like, I don't need all this exit. Just get in the bed. It's time.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Get
like
in
that
the
in my
bed.
bedroom.
Like I don't. For me,
wouldn't mind it.
like, you know what it's like. You know, to me, a stripper pole is like. It's like when the restaurant bring out the sizzling fajita and it's or something stupid with a sparkler shooting out the top. Just put it on the table, man. Let me eat it. It's time to eat. Like I don't need all this extra fanfare and celebration. Now some dudes
I
like
wouldn't
that.
relate to that. I wouldn't relate to that. I think the whole pole thing is pretty much you order something nice at the restaurant and it's just the dressing the way they fix it on the plate. You know what I'm saying? That's like
Fair enough.
that's the
Fair
fixing
enough.
on the plate
Yeah,
rather than just giving you a plate. Here, get to it and start eating.
get
You know what I'm saying? That's like the pole dance. It's like, look how I'm putting it on the plate. Look how I'm dropping. Look at this scoop. Look at that.
But you know what?
It's
I
on the
wouldn't
plate.
like that. I don't want kale. I don't want kale beside my
Yeah,
chicken
but if
breast.
Kale
I
was
don't care
spinning
about it.
around on the pole, that's a whole different taste.
I'm gonna be mad. I'm like, why are you sitting on the pole? Get in the bed.
I'm not
Like,
upset.
As far
Go
as
time. Frozen yogurt or ice cream? Seems.
I don't know the difference. Like I think that's.
You kidding me? It was
I
different.
don't know the difference between a frozen yogurt or ice cream.
Have you had ice cream before?
Yeah, I grew up on ice cream.
Have you
Oh,
had
you
frozen
don't know
yogurt?
yet?
I know I've had frozen yogurt, but
Like,
I
you
don't
gotta
know
know
what
the
the
difference.
difference.
It's
I
like
don't know the
ice
difference.
cream. The texture
It's just-
is different versus like a soft serve mush.
I ain't got there.
Yogurt is like the gay ice cream.
Yeah.
Yes, I said it.
Dude,
I haven't paid attention to that. It's just frozen sugar to me. It's just
It's like
frozen
yogurt.
cold.
Yogurt is like
sugar.
diet ice cream. It's like a Bud Light
Yeah.
compared to a Budweiser.
I just thought they was colder. That's why it's so the texture was different. I never put it together.
Nah.
what
Well,
kind of childhood did you
well,
have? Like, did
I
you
mean, we didn't have.
not-
I grew up on ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Baskin Robbins, Carvel, but
Carvel, that's like top shelf.
if you go to
exactly.
Carvel,
So it's like when
so
I
how
go
do
to
you
like the
not know
frozen yogurt.
frozen yogurt?
you been to Sweet Frogs?
Yeah, I've been to Sweet Frogs. That's where
Go to Baskin
ladies
Robbins.
So
love
you
going
telling
to
me
Sweet Frogs.
Carvel's is the same in your brain? Carvel's and Baskin Robbins is the same as that gloop that
Right.
McDonald's
all-
puts on a.
Hold up. So McDonald's serves what? Frozen yogurt?
It's ice cream. It's soft
Okay,
serve
I'm
ice
about to
cream.
say. So all right, that's the thing.
But it still doesn't
It's
compare
still
to
that's the
Carvel
same.
or
It's
Baskin
soft serve
Robbins.
ice cream or frozen yogurt. Ice cream or yogurt. I
If we're
don't know
talking
the
soft
difference.
serve and you say you can tell the difference, I understand
But
that.
ice cream is ice cream. Like I don't look at soft
If
serve
I put
or
a
hard
scoop
serve.
of ice cream in front of you and a cup of mush soft serve ice cream, you tell and it blindfolds you. You wouldn't know which one, just off texture. Like just
In that
Doesn't-
comparison, I'm gonna assume that the scoop is ice cream.
Yeah, because there's a structure, there's a form
Yeah, but
to
in that
it.
comparison, but there's a lot of soft serve ice cream spots. I don't know which I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. I just want something cold.
Corey, you need to get out more.
Well, whatever.
Take a date to Sweet Frog.
Well,
I mean,
And then take another
it
date to
it
Baskin
has not
Robbins.
affected. The only time it affected me is on this podcast, as far as knowing the difference between ice cream
I'm sorry for attacking
and
you,
frozen.
I feel like I was jumping down your throat just
You
then.
pounced on me,
Yeah.
man. You had like
Disrespectful.
cat tendencies.
Disrespectful. I prefer frozen yogurt though. Just on.
Oh well, I'm sorry.
I grew up on ice cream, but you know I like the yogurt. Yes. See, she said it's the gay pastry. It's not a pastry. What word am I thinking? You know, whatever. Frozen
Sweet.
dessert. Cause you can, I don't know, like the frozen yogurt spot. But then I also live in LA, so that's like gourmet yogurt
I
land,
got you.
where you
Okay.
you get all the weird mango pineapple flavors, and they got dedicated. Well, y'all got some of that stuff here, where you got like
a lot
dedicated
of
frozen
it.
yogurt
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
freestanding
them.
restaurants. Yeah, so you go in there, all the different toppings, real fruit and Oreos and all of that. Like,
Comes with a scarf.
A pink scarf.
it just says fabulous.
No, my girl loves our frozen yogurt. I can't stand it.
Every girl loves frozen yogurt.
I love it. But you don't even know the
Yeah.
difference. You don't talk anymore about this topic.
No, I take them to get ice cream. I take them to get
And
where
it-
we going.
It's
And
not.
then-
It's
and-
not
and-
over until you start calling it froyo. That's what they call it. in
Froyo.
LA.
I never heard of that.
You never heard that?
Froyo, never heard of that.
That is a common word in LA. As common as the word traffic.
So that's frozen yogurt?
Yeah, they call it froyo.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Froyo.
never say it as a man.
Froyo.
I thought that was like a hairdo. I'm about to get a froyo.
No.
I'm gonna get a
Froyo.
fro, yo.
Yeah, you
That's
go in
what
the
I thought.
barbershop.
Yeah. Let me get a
Nah,
froyo.
yeah.
The barber gave ice cream. All right, dog. Here you
Your
go.
listeners in California know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they call it froyo.
What do you wish you can unsee?
Ooh.
I'll go last because mine is dark and it's not funny.
It is just-
Well, I got two.
but he
One
has
of
it.
them's
He
funny.
has it immediately, like he thought about this
Yeah,
before.
it's
like he
never
hates
left
it.
my brain. It's
Oh,
never
geez.
left my brain.
I don't know if
can
I'm gonna answer.
see it right now.
Man, nobody wants to answer this
I
question.
mean, well, all right. I mean, one of the things, all right.
Sorry, suggester.
I wish I had that question ahead of time so I could think about something more tactful or something. But
Tactful. Wait till you hear mine.
I think
There's
that
no tact in mine.
I always wish I never seen my parents naked.
Were you jealous of your dad?
I mean, I don't even know what emotions I felt, but I knew I should not be seen.
Every man remember that. Every man remember the first time and he was like 4 and he just saw a grown man. He's like, whoa, got a Gatorade bottle hanging. My Uncle Jakey used to walk around the house with no drawers on.
His name was
And
Janky. Did
Jake-
you get
Jake-
that? Is that why they
Janky.
call him Janky?
Jakey, like Jakey.
Oh, Jakey.
We call him Janky. Man, we'd be up in the morning playing video games in the living room. My Uncle Jakey come through with a T-shirt on. You know he done just smashed my aunt. And you know he coming through for that victory walk to go get his water
Oh man.
from the fridge. And this dude is straight hanging. I'm like, yo, man, you gotta put some drawers on. Like you can't victory walk
With your nephew and
with your nephews in the living room,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Disrespectful. What's yours? What are you unseeing, Jaya?
I don't, man, because mine. I thought mine was gonna be bad. Now it makes you.
You
Wonder
will
what
not
you got.
top.
Oh, so mine was all right. Mine was cool.
Yours
You
wasn't
will-
too bad. Like
Alright,
that
cool,
was
cool.
You
everybody's
will
experienced
not
that.
top the two things I want to unsee.
I'm kind of embarrassed. All right, listeners, y'all getting a confession right now. Leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone. Let me say that.
I'm adding effects to this later. Add
I-
a little soft music to the background.
Little piano.
I saw my own fart. I had to fart, and I looked in the mirror. I had a mirror in front of me to look in the mirror behind me,
Why would you?
and I bent over and I farted to see what it looked like when I farted. And it was
it cold?
it was the most
alright.
disgusting thing in the world.
I gotta ask a question that's,
Like,
that's very frozen yogurt.
and
in
I
me.
wish I could unsee that.
But I gotta ask this question because
I could unhear that.
because I know someone's going to be wondering this. No homo. Were you wearing drawers? Are you just naked in a mirror?
I was naked. Like I wanted to see.
So
the
you
fart.
bend over and you want to just see what happens physiologically as the fart leaves your body.
Yes, I was like 8.
Try to
But
see
I'll
your booty.
never
Oh, okay.
forget
So you was 8.
Oh, I thought this was like last week.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like, you saw you was 8. Was it like 8 years ago?
Nah, I was 8.
That's different.
Okay, all right, perfect. Well, cool. I'm back.
I'm not saying
back
it's
on the
normal.
cool side.
I'm just
I
saying
mean, it ain't cool. Well,
Yeah.
It's different. It's
It's
different.
different.
It ain't cool.
That's
It's not
curiosity.
acceptable.
It's odd curiosity,
Yeah.
but it's curiosity. I'm
Yeah.
thinking you was like legit a month ago. Like, yo,
you still got to pay a fine. I'm just saying. You know.
my girl walked in. I'll give you the worst one first. I'll give you the one that's not funny. I saw a video of an Al Qaeda beheading.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
I saw like
I can see that.
straight up the first one, Daniel Berg.
Yeah.
Like back like 02. And I won't get into the details of how they do it, but it ain't quick and it ain't fast.
No, that one was hard to watch.
Dude,
Can't watch
my
stuff
stupid
like
butt.
that.
I watched it. I thought it was just. I'm just watching a little bit of this and just see what the
Because
nature of
you're
these
not
terrorist
expecting
videos.
that,
Yeah, and
because-
then
because
just a
you wouldn't
dude
think that
comes
wouldn't
into the
happen.
shot
Oh,
with a
God.
knife,
Yeah.
shank, and we're still on the air doing radio that morning. So I'm
Oh,
over in
wow.
the production room. I've just watched the most. Literally, it's the most horrifying thing I've ever watched in my life. The sound, I'll never forget it. And I
Oh,
walked
God.
back across the hall to be on air. Hey man, ain't it crazy? Did you know that it's rumors that Lauryn Hill is dating?
Why you got that on your mind?
Is
and
dating
that image?
Wyclef? What you think about that, Roy? You know,
What is it?
the
Why?
world is. There's just bigger things going on in the world. That's all I said the whole day on air.
I just hope he don't cut her hair.
It's
off.
just bigger things going on in the world. So I saw that. I can't unsee it. And I saw a video of a dude having sex with a horse. 'Cause I clicked on the wrong porn link.
What? Were you looking for the horse with the woman?
No, well, let me rephrase it.
Like,
He was looking for
It
the
was-
wrong. Hold up. So I mean,
It
hold up.
was a
What was you
dude.
looking for? How did that come up?
it was a dude. It
That was
wasn't a
my
girl.
question. Because my search terms was very normal. Black booty. Like, it was very,
Well, I can understand
Basic.
that. That's like Black Beauty, the horse.
well, I believe so.
So-
Like, I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was trouble. I think that dude died too.
The dude died.
Well, okay, let me
From
rephrase it.
doing to
I
the-
saw a horse have sex with it.
Yeah, that's,
Oh.
that's a different story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez. I thought you meant the
Yeah.
dude was.
Yeah, you can Google stuff like that.
Oh,
Like a guy
God.
died, they sent his friend to jail.
I'll take your word on that. I don't want to Google it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
it's
just
some
wild.
troubling type
But you
stuff.
know, I've seen a horse on a woman.
Well,
I'm not saying I'm proud of that.
I'm
like
just
I was
saying
watching it.
that
but
makes more sense than a horse on a dude.
Yeah, that was.
I can
that
see the
was-
result. I can see death being the result.
Yeah, but I did all that from radio station computers. I don't want that stuff in my web history.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that was what made the story, what's so messed up about the story is that the news story that went with that video, his homeboy dropped him off at the hospital and didn't like tell the doctors what was wrong with him. And he
Was he
died.
conscious?
That's why he
He was
died.
unconscious?
Yeah, he was unconscious, internal bleeding. So he didn't. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with him, so they couldn't figure out in time what was going on. So they charged his friend with like negligent homicide or something like that on the
Wow.
grounds that,
You say homicide?
of course, he saw it. On the grounds that, yo, you helped this dude kill himself,
Yeah.
and then you swing him by the hospital. You don't even help him do his paperwork. And that, like, just straight pushed him out the car
He had to
in the
clean
ER
up. Why you think?
and
Yeah,
just
he-
dipped. It's-
You gotta wipe his seats.
You know what I want to know? I want to know how they found out it was a horse. Like, what? Did he
Well,
leave?
dude, he probably told him afterwards. I mean,
It's just like,
You think he told him? Like, I want to see what the doctors.
did you
like, how
sit
do
on
they
a
operate?
stop sign? What happened?
Yo, that's
Yes, we read that story, man. I was like, I gotta find that ignorant video. Like,
That's horrible.
as horrible as it was, and I just wish I'd have never seen it. Cause you know his family got to tell that story. That's the
yeah, what he
sad
said at the
part.
funeral was this.
What? Yeah.
Do you
Nah,
even
dude.
put that in the obituary?
You
'Cause
better
know,
have a.
sometimes in the obits they put how you died.
Matter of fact, you probably don't even an event like that. You don't have a funeral. You just disappear. It's just-
What happened to Jimmy? yeah,
Yeah.
you
We
know.
can show you where he's at. You know, what I'm saying? You just take people to the graveyard. That's it. You know,
Yeah,
cremate the body
It's
and
no
don't talk
funeral.
about it.
because you only get the mention.
He died.
Your cause of death is only mentioned in the obituary if it's like after a long battle or he succumbed.
The good stuff. Yeah, the stuff that the normal stuff.
After a battle with a horse
Said
and
Minotaur.
incompetent ER doctors, he went on to glory. He went to meet Jesus.
He leaves behind 3 ponies.
That's trifling. That's disgusting. I don't know what the terms to describe that.
I mean, it's I would rather watch
Ugh.
my own fart
Nah, he can
than
have that.
see either of those.
I'm not that
videos.
interested. Maybe on a
I survived.
high speed camera that might be interesting, but you know.
If you could, what time in history would you like to visit for a day, and why?
What time in history would I like to revisit or visit? Did it say?
Visit. No,
Visit?
not revisit. So, but I mean, you can say.
No, I don't know, but I don't know what the question
What
is.
time in history would you like to visit? So it could be a time in your
Okay.
history or a time in.
Yesterday to get the lottery numbers. Tomorrow.
There's a lot. I mean, I don't know.
It's like that old Louis C.K. joke where he say only
There is
white
no-
people can
yeah.
time travel.
There is no good time for black people.
Black people can't go further back than the 70s.
Right.
to time travel.
Unless you travel way back in time. Don't get on that boat. You know, that's like that's about the only
Just show up as a one-man commando force. Just go back in time fully armed. Just
make us free.
free and slave. Just straight
Yeah.
Django and random plantations.
As long as I get to bring my equipment. I wouldn't mind going back in time if I could have the same technology that's existed today.
I go back to high school. It's the only place I go. I'd go back to high school. I tell myself to start comedy quicker, and I tell myself,
So you would still do comedy. You would tell yourself to do comedy.
yeah, I wanted to do comedy since I was like 13, 14. I just
Okay.
never had the guts till I was 19. So I should have started quicker,
That's still young.
and I should have, instead of working summer jobs, I should have went to summer baseball camps, and I might have been decent at baseball. That's it.
Were
No,
were
so
you
we'd
on a
have been,
baseball team in high school?
Yeah, I played baseball, but you never get good. The problem is that inner city baseball, people talk about how there's fewer black baseball players. It's because black kids got stuff to do in the summer. My mama
I
can't
got some
afford.
family support.
Yeah, my mama can't afford to send me to no camp to go learn more baseball outside of baseball season. I got to go to Subway. I almost starved to death.
Well, I went to camp.
Must be nice. I had an argument with my friend one time about whether or not
Aw.
if you went back in time, could you pull a chick from like the 18th century with 21st century game?
I don't even think I would want a chick in the 18th century.
You wouldn't have a choice if
It's
you was in the 18th century. If you go back, your time machine break, and now you
I
try
mean, that's
to get
different. I
some ass.
mean, but if you just go back in time just to get an 18th century chick, it's just like, dude.
I would do that.
I don't know. Some of the
I
man,
wouldn't.
I would go
I
back.
probably would.
Hell
you know
yeah.
How wide
I
they
would.
were with
New
other
answer.
women. And
Yeah. I
You
go
know
back to Smash.
And you know how dirty they were? This is like before the invent of any kind of
Dush, breath.
contraceptive and stuff. They probably had this a walking petri dish of
Look, man, why you gotta be a
stuff
downer?
that I don't want. You know what I
Why
mean?
you gotta be a downer, man?
Right.
Just
Come
saying.
to the crib, give a
Well,
father
just bring back-
3-4 shillings. Squire, I desire the presence of thine.
Have her make some
Daughter.
porridge.
Just tell her,
Yeah.
just tell her a good joke. She'll be so happy. Oh my God, I never heard that before. Why the chicken cross the road?
What is a road? Like, ain't been invented yet. That joke gonna bomb. See, your 18th century game is off. You don't even know how to break the ice. You know how hard it is to pull a chick from another century? Like, that's game. You go back in time.
You can bring back some ivory soap.
All right, you clean them up. Clean them up. Film a clean time. They'll be hooked.
She'd have a nervous breakdown. You brought a chick from the 18th century
Have
up to the
scurvy.
present day.
She wouldn't know what to do. She'd be so insecure. She was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine her style. What's going on with your clothes, babes? It's just like I just like
Well,
thicker
this is
stockings. It's
This
just-
is pure.
Yeah.
What is this stripper pole? I need you to get up there, baby. I need you to climb up there in your Quaker dress.
I gotta put this on YouTube. Hurry up.
What is a YouTube?
Say
That's
cheese.
horrible.
Oh, there's cheese.
Oh, she-
Oh, cheese. no, never mind. Oh, cheese. Oh, finally, some cheese.
Y'all funny.
oh, horrible, man. In closing, what have we
Radio
learned
voice.
today? Let's recap. We've learned that you shouldn't watch an Al Qaeda beheaded. We've learned that frozen yogurt is the metro. It's ice cream's more fashionable, questionable.
Passing by ice cream.
Yeah, bow tie, but it's pink. But he's got 3 chicks.
All
Is
right.
he gay? I don't know.
It carries an umbrella.
Yeah, he's got an umbrella.
Right.
Or no, he has someone carry an umbrella
Oh,
for
there
him.
you go, yeah.
He's got a Farnsworth. It's the Farnsworth. There you go.
The
Frozen
Bentley
yogurt
Farnsworth of ice
is the
cream.
Bentley Farnsworth of ice creams. I think that's all I learned today.
It's been very educational.
You also learned that Best Buy has a 14-day no
There you go.
restocking
That's
fee
important.
return policy. You can make a movie 14 days at a time. Just keep rewritten the equipment.
Bring that dress back.
Appreciate your time, Mr. Roy Wood Jr.
Oh, good times, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
All right, this is the podcast where your topics go on the pad.
And we talk about them off the pad.
Appreciate you for tuning in. Later.
Gone.
Thank you for listening to Off the Pad Podcast with Joye Toller and Corey Marshall. Be sure to find us online at offthepad.podbean.com. Follow us on Twitter at offthepad. You can also be a part of our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for listening to Off the Pad Podcast. And remember,
Where your topics go on the pad.
And we talk about them off the pad.